Hi there, Dalton. Looking over your paper right now, I can tell that you tried to put a lot of work into this. There's just one big glaring issue that we need to discuss, and which you can address. It's not something that's going to upend your entire paper, but which I definitely think needs to be addressed in order for your paper to be valid rhetorically. So first, your opening is a little bit dry. Which is better, an electric car or a gas-powered car or a hybrid car? I think we can do a better way of introducing this. Even if you start off a conversation talking about a Prius and how Toyota was one of the first people to mass produce hybrid cars here in the United States, and some of the conversation that was around that, or if you want to talk about Elon Musk and his work to create all electric vehicles and have them widely available throughout the United States and the rest of the world, starting with a case study like that, something that would really help to open this up, and then jumping into issues of CO2 and the atmosphere would be a lot more interesting for the reader than just jumping into CO2 in the atmosphere. It's not that I don't care about that stuff, but it's particularly difficult to get interested in it. So if you can make it more real, talking about an individual person, you'll go a long way toward helping to convince the reader. Anyway, right here you start talking about how electric cars were popular at one point, and then you begin to get into, well, in order to make the electricity that these electric cars run on, we still have to provide them with coal. That's true, but here's where the glaring issue is. In order to make the gas for gas cars, you also need, well, not coal in this case, but you still are needing oil, which is also a fossil fuel. So there are fossil fuels required each step along the way, whether it's for hybrid combustion or for electric cars. The question is the fossil fuel being used just for the creation of the vehicle and then not its running, or is it being used both for its creation and its running? I think that there's something there that you need to address, because otherwise the paper is not going to make a whole lot of sense moving forward. Second, you have some pretty meaty paragraphs right here. Looking at this first body paragraph again, this is over a page long paragraph right here. I definitely think we can break this up at points. What are the different topics that you're looking at within this section? So for instance, if you want to talk about the history of this, that's great, but the history of it is different than tax credits then. So right here becomes an example of a place where you need to create a new paragraph. And the same thing is going to happen down here when you talk about hybrid cars. You need to be thinking about what are the different topics inside each one of these sections. So if you take care of your organization, you think about this logical issue with regard to fossil fuels, and then as you come down here to the end, you invent some criteria that you're going to use for considering which one of the vehicles is best, whatever it is that might mean for you. You're going to have an okay paper here, but I think you definitely need to deal with the issue of rhetoric. You definitely need to deal with the issue of some of your organization, dividing up these sections into multiple paragraphs. And at the end, you need to tell me what criteria you're going to use to actually assess which one of these is best. All right, think about the things I've had to say, and we'll talk tomorrow.